All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh by Hashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful elect. All right, your brothers pushing his word in truth and in sincerity, and to the hopeful elect. All right, the listeners, the believers who came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Shem Shai. Now I want to go into, a lesson dealing with comment board etiquette. All right, comment board etiquette. All right, now I want to get this word etiquette. Okay, just a quick Google. All right, definition says the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group. Okay, so let's read this word etiquette again. The customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group. Okay? And we are a particular professional group, which is the church. And there's a particular etiquette, that we have, amongst each other. Okay? There's order, there's rank, there's, men, women, there's order. Okay? You have the teachers, the listeners. Okay? There's etiquette. All right? So you had a situation earlier, which, I can't remember the guy's name. And this is not to call him out. This is just speaking in general. Because Jake, coming to the truth, and, you coming, Jake coming from, we all come from nigger culture, Western culture, where there's no etiquette at all. There's no order. We wasn't taught, a lot of us wasn't taught, really how to deal. Some, more rough around the edges than others, and we get it, you're excited. This is not a, a cuss out. All right. This is just advice moving forward. All right. And like I say, we get it. You're happy to find out you're an Israelite. There's other people that believe, and you have the zeal, and you want to get on the comment board and kind of express yourself. But that's improper etiquette. Okay. The comment board is for edification. These lessons is for edification. It's all about, all right, this is a sacrifice. This is an altar. Okay, this is a spiritual altar that you come before. When you get on these live screens, man. This sacrifice is going up to the heavens. Okay? And you don't want to get on there, all right, with the improper etiquette. Okay? And that's why it says this in uh let's get this in the book of Ecclesiastes. All right, chapter 5, and we read in NLT as well. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give a sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be more ready to hear. As there's someone new that's coming into this thing, you should have the mindset of listening, And like I said, we get it, okay, but these things have to be addressed. All right, because I know, when I first came in, I didn't even feel worthy to speak. I felt so far behind. My whole thing was I need to catch up. And if you're just tuning in and you're listening and you're young and you're fresh, you should be in the spirit of taking notes. You should be doing a lot of reading. Okay, a lot of reading. You should be occupied in reading, researching, things that brothers are speaking on. Okay, writing down precepts. All right, that should be the number one focus. All right, but putting all these, being chatty on the comment board and trying to tell brothers your life story and your life bio. Like, look, man, that's not there for that, man. Like I said, we all got a story. Okay, we Israelites in America, man. There's tens of millions of violin stories that we can speak on, man. Okay? And that's why, when you understand that we in this position because of our sin, because of our disobedience, then, you just got to eat whatever the Lord, hey, whatever we've been through, man, is deserved. Okay? And we adults now. Whatever happened in our childhood, we adults now. Okay, you gotta get over that because guess what? Life it don't stop. Okay, Xfinity, the gas people, car insurance, they don't want to hear the childhood life story, man. Things gotta be done now. Okay, so yeah, just read this in the NLT. It says, as you enter the house of the Most High, keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Okay? Your ears open. Be ready to hear. you know? You gotta get built up. It's about you being built up, edified, man. And like I said, this ain't a cuss out, but this just advice. Okay? Verse 2 it says, don't be rash with your mouth. Okay, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High. Hey, this is the Lord's business. You see, this is a serious thing. And I know that in our mind, we have a very low self-image of ourselves. We come from a culture where we all, had this low self-image of ourselves. Okay, and there was really no respect, especially coming from a matriarch. There's really no respect for Israelite male authority. Okay, because the things that Jake would do on the comment board, they wouldn't dare do, at work, and they wouldn't dare go into these college universities, all right, and tell and just start blurting out things at the college professor. Okay, so it's all a part, that of that wound that we suffer from slavery. That's a part of it as well, you know. But this is why we're here to heal, because we're all being healed, from these wounds of captivity, man. Okay, so we have to understand this is serious business, man. When these live streams are going on, this is serious business, man. Okay, this is the Lord. This is the Lord. The Lord is dealing. Like He puts His Spirit on a man to teach. Okay, and edify His sheep. So the Lord is working, so you don't want to jump in the mix and be rash and just blurting out things that has nothing to do with what's going on. Okay, you're being rash because you see brothers putting up precepts. Okay, and then, if a brother putting up precepts, the women are learning in silence. Okay, and then you will have a guy come in and just start blurting these, off-topic things like, nah, you throwing the song off, man. You know, because this thing is like a choir. As a brother is teaching and another brother, because the brother, say brother doing a live stream, well, he would be like the lead singer, and then you would have brothers putting up precepts. Hey, they're ad-libbing and singing in the background. Okay, as they putting precepts based on the things that he's saying. So it's like a live orchestra, man, and it's all in sync. Okay, and then you don't want to come in off just off beat, off chord, you know playing the banjo or instrument that ain't even part of it's like what you doing. Okay, you gonna stand out. And see, one thing about it, start with the apostles and elders, and the elder brothers, they've established an order amongst the church. So when something is off, it stands out immediately. A woman pop up, speaking and doing too much. Like, you stand out because there ain't no other women doing that. So now you stand out, okay? And as a man, you doing things that other brothers ain't doing. So now you standing out. It's like having the wrong wedding garments on, man. What you would get that, okay? It says, be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High. For the Most High is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few. Okay? And if you're not adding to the topic with precepts, and brothers do, make comments, that are not precepts, but it still be on point with the topic. Brother might add a little information. We might be doing the news and prophecy, and the brother might add a little information. Brother might add a definition. Brother might discuss something that's going on in his area that has something to do, with what the speaker is talking about. It's all in sync. Okay, and that's a skill set that we develop first by just listening and observing, other men that's in sync. Okay, so let's go here. Let's get that. Dealing with the wedding garment, man. Cause see, when your conduct is off, you stand out. Okay, this is Matthew 22:9 says, "Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as you shall find, be it to the marriage." So those servants went out into the ways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. Okay? So as we are preaching and teaching on the highways and byways, doing these lessons, this is an invitation to a wedding. Okay? The wedding, all right, of Israel and Yahweh Shema Shai, joining our people back to their power. Okay? And it says, and when the king came in, and this is Yahweh Shai, to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not a wedding garment. So this man, he stood out. And what made this man stood out? Okay? His conduct, because we know that wedding garment represents your righteousness, which is your conduct. Okay? So the spirit of Yahweh Shai is working on his men, Yahweh Shai, he'll spot out off conduct, man, and call it out. Like this guy, army of Yahweh Shai. That man, like, he's just in the, he just came to the wedding, okay, with the, with the Bin Laden jacket, okay, with the, the Kim on shades. Like, what is this guy doing? You see? He doesn't have the proper attire, man. A woman pop up putting up precepts. She's like, if a woman come on the comment board putting up precepts, she'll be singled out. Like, what are you doing? You have the wrong garment on, man. Okay? So you don't want to be out there, with the the wrong conduct, man. We're learning nobility, man. There's etiquette. See, when you look at so-called royals and the royal families, man, they come from us, man. All that etiquette, that they have in London and Britain, and, you know, amongst the nobilities, that come from us, man. That's our culture, man. Okay? Class, etiquette, integrity, that nobility behavior, that comes from us. And this is what we're coming back to, man. Okay? And that's why we have to become like unto what? Let's get this in Matthew 8 and Matthew 18. So like, it's the book of Matthew chapter 18. All right, and 1, it says, at the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them. So you had the disciples saying, look, who gonna be the greatest in the kingdom? Under you, who gonna be the greatest? Who's gonna be the greatest man in the kingdom? you know, and Yahushua said a child in the midst of them, because this is a teaching moment. Remember, Yahushua used everything as a teaching moment. All right, that's why this situation, this is a teaching moment. It's not to jump down, a brother's throat. Okay, but this is just pretty much a admonition. Okay, to the newer believers, man, that are first coming into this thing, man. All right. And say verse 3, it says, and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So he told them, look, y'all talking about who gonna be the greatest. First, you gotta become like a child. You gotta be you gotta go back into learning mode. Okay, before we can be great, we gotta go into learning mode. Okay, because a child, sometimes a child will be so quiet in the room, you won't even know them there, know that they there. But guess what? They ear hustling, they soaking up all the game. You know how them children be, special, when you're talking, they know they ain't supposed to be there, but they be so quiet that they just listening and taking everything in. You know, you look at a child be looking directly at your mouth. you know, he ain't saying nothing. He just looking directly at your mouth as you speak. And that's how we have to be within this truth, man. Attentive. We have to be like children. Then we become great. Okay. You don't just jump out there and get to speaking and talking and nah, man, you gotta listen and learn. Then you start to become great in this thing, man. You start to, grow. Your house shot starts to grow in you. And that's why brothers can, the spirit is dealing because hey, your house shot is built up in brothers. So they're able to add to what the speaker is saying because your house shot is built up in those men. And they have the same spirit as the man that's speaking. Okay? So that's why you see it flow, in sync. Okay? So let's get this and we'll end it here. Just a quick admonishment, to you new believers, man. All right? You should be occupied with reading and studying. You should be writing precepts down, taking notes. Okay? Looking at words. You should be occupied, you know. So let's go to some rock. 32 all right, this is rock 32 and 7. It says, speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art asked twice. Okay? Scarcely when thou art asked twice. So we speak when there be need be. You know? We don't just, that's something even as we begin to teach, we learn, especially when we're at camp or we're doing a live stream amongst brothers, we learn, not to just blurt out every point, that come to our mind. Sometimes it's just fall back. And, a lot of times when brothers are speaking at certain points, it'd be a time to speak on things and then it'd be a time to fall back. That brother in the spirit too, you gotta let him get off. Okay? So it'd be a time to where, as teachers, we got, even us, we're still learning. It ain't like we got it figured out. We're still learning. We try to give speech when need be. And the spirit, that's how the spirit go. It'll give you an opening, when it's time for you to speak. And then sometimes the spirit will shut down, what you got because the spirit wants this to come out, what this brother is saying. Okay? So this is a thing of us all constantly learning. We all growing no matter what stage we at. We're all growing, man. Okay? It says, verse 8, it says, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. Okay? In few words, comprehending much. And that's a skill set. And that's more so with the men, as we teach, man, to have our words comprehending much, okay, in few words, man. Being concise. Now, some brothers, gonna be a little more long-winded than others, and then there's sometimes where it's a lot of information and things that be broke down, tedious lessons to where it's gonna be, kind of lengthy, okay. But then, just in general, you want to get to your point. You want to make your point, okay? Bring out a precept, make your point, move to the next, man. So, yeah, man, just quick admonishment, for, comment board etiquette, for you new believers. Like I say, we get it, you know, uh, but there's an etiquette, we're coming back to nobility and royal etiquette, man. So Lord will you brothers and you sisters edified to the next time I say shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abba, Babal, DTA, Soon, Shalom.